Yo, what's going on YouTube? GZTV back with another one, and in this video we are going to be we don't do reactions. Nikki and Steven do, so make sure you go check out their channel. They got some great reactions. That's a good channel I watch shit on. We have the 10th episode of Season 5 of Breaking Bad. We are getting down to the end of it, man. I mean, I can wait. I want more of this show. But then again, now that we know that like Better Call Saul is a thing, like when Breaking Bad ended, people are like, oh man, the show's over. It was so amazing. But now we have Better Call Saul, and there's a lot of content in that, a lot of context clues, a lot of questions answered. So yeah. Late at night, an elderly man collecting the money which Jesse has thrown away discovers him parked in a playground and absent-mindedly spinning on a roundabout. So Jesse's like lost his mind. He's kind of gone insane, and he's gotten himself in trouble. And you guys will see later on in this episode why he has gotten himself in trouble. It's a very weird scene. It's kind of the aftermath of Jesse doing the whole $1 million cash throw into the fucking neighborhood. I don't know why you would do that. I mean, that is just... If they can trace it to you, you're kind of in trouble. Your handprints are on the money. You should have used gloves and just drove off. But, I don't know. Maybe people had security cameras on their houses. Jesse was kind of in trouble anyway. A roundabout. It's a merry-go-round, not a roundabout. Meanwhile, after his confrontation with Hank, Walt frantically tries calling Skyler, but cannot get through as Hank is already on the phone with her. So Hank has beat him to it, beat him to the pie. Skyler's at the center of attention now. They're wanting answers out of her. Walt and Hank are both demanding whose side is she going to be on. That's kind of the big storyline that's going on in the show right now, is whose side is Skyler actually on. We will find out later in the episode whose side she's on. I mean, as much as she hates Walt, she's not going to betray him. That's kind of the spoiler here. She's not going to betray Hank or Walt. She's married with him. I mean, are you kidding me? Hank over Walt? No, that's not going to work. He's a DEA agent. Maybe if he wasn't a DEA agent, he'd tell him the truth. She'd tell him the truth, but no. Walt rushes to the car wash, but Skyler has already left to meet Hank at a diner, so... Walt's kind of come to a realization way too slow. Like, people are finally starting to kind of outsmart him. Things are going downhill. Hank has got Skyler lured in at the diner and trying to get everything out of her. Believing Skyler to be a victim, Hank unwittingly reveals that Walt's cancer has returned and unsuccessfully tries enlisting her help and building a case against Walt. So at least Walt has the trust of Skyler. You know, he thought all was lost when she was meeting with Hank at the diner. But nope, Skyler's not giving anything away to Hank, and we move on. Yeah. Hank thinks like Skyler's a victim when this whole time she's like been keeping a secret, kind of helping with his operation, you know, running the car wash, making them look like a normal family, all of this stuff. She's not really a victim, and I feel like Hank should kind of start picking up on that the second she refuses to give him anything on Walt. Skyler panics and leaves the diner. She shouts out, she's like, help, this guy's trying to arrest me. Are you trying to arrest me? Are you like harassing me? I mean, the DEA agents have been harassing a lot of people. I mean, within good reason. Again, it's this whole thing where, should Hank really be doing this? I mean, he's right, but he doesn't know for a fact that he's right on Walt just yet. He hasn't, like, seen him in the act of doing anything bad. You know? Walt goes to Saul's office, angered that Skyler went to Hank before talking to him. He's like, man, you should have at least tried to, like, lure her in. I guess Saul wasn't in on anything. He wasn't really, like, knowing of anything. But yeah. When Saul asks whether Walt has considered having Hank killed, Walt admonishes him, reminding him that Hank is family. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't give a damn if Hank is your family. He is a DEA agent. I'm killing that man. I don't care. He's a brother-in-law. He's a legally family. He's not... I mean, if you hadn't have married Skyler, he's not your family. He wouldn't have been your family. That's the whole thing about this. That's just like, what the hell, man? I don't know. Rushing to hide his money, Walt has QB and Huel delivered to him in 7 container drums. So they kind of take it out of the storage unit so Hank can't search it. And like, because yeah, he can't search it. He's got the money in barrels. He's going to go bury it. So he's kind of ahead of the game. You know, Hank is kind of just chilling at his office, trying to figure some things out at this point in the show. Yeah. Let's see. He then drives to Tuahili Indian reservation and spends the day burying it. I think that's the Indian reservation that he said he was going to go to. Maybe that could clue Hank in on some things, but meanwhile, Marie confronts Skyler about Walt's criminality, so obviously Hank tells Skyler about the whole ordeal, and Marie has a confrontation with Skyler, sister to sister. Why are you still marrying this man? He's been doing it ever since we started hearing word of Heisenberg, you know? After learning that Skyler knew about Walt's activities before Hank was shot, Marie slaps her despite a tearful Skyler's attempt to apologize. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm marrying this man. I can't just rat him out. And it's very understanding. I'm on Skyler's side. I mean, you cannot just turn someone in. I understand Walt is not a good person, but Skyler can't just turn the guy in. That's not happening. You know? She's not going to reveal anything. Marie is really annoying. Marie does some things in the show that I'm like, why the hell does she do stuff like this? You know, it kind of angers me sometimes. Slapping Skyler. Skyler's not the criminal here. You cannot slap the victim. She is a victim. Hank painted her as a victim. And then here comes Marie slapping her. Maybe Marie sees a different side of the story. Marie tries to leave with Skyler's daughter, Holly. But Hank enters the house and tells Marie to give Holly back. I would have been like, take my baby, I'm filing a police report. You kidnapped my daughter. I don't care if you're my sister, you kidnapped my daughter. I would have got Marie locked up real quick. Hank would have probably broke her out, but it's a good try. It would have been a good nag at it. In the car, Marie tells Hank that he has to get Walt. He can't keep letting Walt do this. This is Hank's mission. For the next 6 episodes, it's going to be Hank's mission to go after Walt. And so it begins. So rifts are placed between these families, and oh my god. Walt returns home late and posts a lottery ticket on the refrigerator door. Its numbers correspond to the GPS coordinates on the buried drums. So kind of like a Heisenberg mastermind type of thing we see here done by Walter. These are just clues. At this point, he's like the Zodiac killer. He's trying to throw some subliminals out there. It's kind of sick and twisted. I feel like he does that on purpose. So when Hank comes to his house and notices the numbers, he knows something. Unresponsive to Skyler's question, an exhausted Walt collapses. I mean, his cancer has come back. He's fatigued. He needs to take a rest. Hank isn't necessarily on his case, so this is time for Walt to kind of relax and not really do anything for a while until Walt starts to try to corner him. When he awakens, Walt offers to surrender himself on the condition that the money be kept for their children. So Walter is more than willing to be like, I'm just going to give my ass up. And you can keep your children, you can keep the money, you can live in peace. Instead, Skyler tells Walt that they should keep quiet, telling him that Hank has no real evidence. So this is Skyler kind of coming out and being like, Walt, I'm on your side. I'm not telling Hank anything. We went to the diner. I didn't tell him shit. I don't want you in trouble. You were doing this for the family. You don't want to do this for nothing because they'd probably confiscate your money if they figured out you were doing all these things. Elsewhere, Lydia confronts DeClan, now in charge of supplying meth at his desert lab. So again, now that Heisenberg Walter is retired, they have this DeClan guy kind of running the operation for Lydia and her Czech Republic customers. So she kind of goes there and inspects some things. She's critical of the poor standards and working conditions, but DeClan rejects her suggestion to hire Todd, Walt's former protege. That would be a big move because Todd would get a really cool side storyline in this. That would be awesome if Todd became a part of this new meth operation. He'd become the next Walt. He's learned from Walt. He knows how to keep things nice and concise. He's very attentive to detail. This Todd guy's awesome. I love him. I love that he keeps being brought back into the show when you think he's done for. At Lydia's behest, Todd and his uncle Jack arrive and massacre DeClan and his men in a one-sided shootout before taking over the operation. So yes, she doesn't have to hire him because Todd is here with his uncle. Oh man, these people just wreak havoc. They just cause problems, and they do it in a good way because now Lydia has this family to run her meth operation. Believing his career with the DEA will end if he reveals his unsubstantial suspicion that Heisenberg is actually his brother-in-law, Hank needs evidence to apprehend Walt, so he's kind of seeking evidence. He's kind of going around looking for things. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have enough evidence to like say that, oh, Walt, my brother-in-law, is actually Heisenberg, then he's gonna get fired. Like, he's already led a lot of deep ends. And to be fair, deep ends happen all the time in like criminal investigations. But oh my god, like Hank is so damn aggressive. He's so adamant. He's so stingy about these type of things that if he does this one more time, as the ASAC, as the guy that's not even supposed to be seeking out evidence and going on these little pickups and stuff, these little what do you call it? Pickups are what Mike were doing. Why did I say that? He'd get fired on the spot. Murray insist on putting the DEA on the case, expressing concern over how they might respond if they learn that Hank did not share his discovery with them immediately. So, like, on Marie's side, if Hank waits and waits and waits and then finally tells him, oh, Walt, my brother-in-law, what if he dies? And he's like, well, oh, Walt was Heisenberg. They're going to be mad at him. He's going to lose his job either way if he waits. Hank returns to work where Agent Stephen Gomez reveals that Jesse is currently detained and under questioning. So this was huge. The fact that Jesse is being held for questioning, he threw some fucking money around. He's dumb as hell for that. Jesse might put himself and Heisenberg in jeopardy. Hank, realizing Jesse's connection to Walt as he has all along, he realizes his connection with Walt at the beginning because he was like a former chem student and he saw Walt as just a mentor. But now he's like, oh my god, this Jesse guy's part of this drug thing. Walt is too. So these two are partners. He asks for time with Jesse alone before entering the interrogation room, and that's kind of a cliffhanger here. Hank is about to question Jesse over everything, and it's going to be crazy. Next episode, I feel like, is going to get crazy. It's not going to be a lot of physical action, but emotionally and mentally, it's going to be a wild thing to watch. So let's just talk about how people saw the episode. Overwhelmingly positive reviews. Anna Gunn, performer of the week at the time the episode came out for TV Line. I think Skylar had a pretty good performance in this episode. Not one of the better half episodes, but it still leads to things. Again, it's kind of like a filler episode. You don't really get much out of this episode, but at the end, it's like, oh my god, something bad is going to happen to Jesse. Something bad could happen to Walt. It's going to have kind of this domino effect. They have like this connection with each other, and Hank is seeking that out, trying to get some answers from Jesse. So, yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. It's been GZTV giving you guys the best TV and movie reviews. I'm about to be reviewing Gladiator, the 2000 Roman movie. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's very infamous. Robert Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix are in the movie. So yeah, it's going to be a fun time to talk about that movie. It's great. Just stay tuned. We have a Far Cry gameplay video coming later today on the channel. So, and a Twitch stream tonight. So